Hey, hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your man Cat with Cat Fitness, and you are tuned in to the first episode of the Heal the Hood podcast, y'all. You've probably been seeing Heal the Hood on Instagram, on Facebook, and it's like, what is this Heal the Hood going on? It's an event that we've been doing throughout the Bay Area. We did our first three events. First one was in the Bayview in San Francisco. We did our second event in West Oakland, and we just got done not too long ago doing our third event in Richmond, y'all. I know a lot of people have been asking me about the Heal the Hood tour and what it's all about. It's really about empowering our community once again with education, right? We're here to educate, motivate, and inspire those in our inner city communities how to take control of your health, right? Especially going on during this time of COVID. People are more concerned about how do I take control of my health? How can I make healthier decisions in my life, right? And that's what really inspired me to do Heal the Hood and partner with the Vegan Hood Chefs and partner with so many amazing health coaches throughout the Bay Area. And, taking their testimonies, their stories, and bringing it directly to y'all. We were able to feed over 900 people throughout all our events. We were able to give away fresh produce and just do so much amazing things during this time where, so many people are in need. So now we have the podcast going on, y'all, because some of y'all that didn't get to come to the live event, now you can come to the podcast, ask questions, have one-on-one talks with the coaches that we had. So we have 15 different coaches that we're going to bring to y'all directly from the Heal the Hood tour throughout the Bay Area. We're starting it off hard, y'all. I had to bring one of my top coaches out to start it off, Mr. Renard. He's the Healthy Hoodlum. He's the owner of the Healthy Hoodlum, y'all. He's a life coach. He also has made his own transformation. He's lost 240 pounds, y'all. 240 pounds. Man, at my heaviest, I was around 240. So I can only imagine he lost my whole body. You know what I'm saying? So with no further ado, I'd like to bring my brother Renard on. Like I said, he is a life coach. He's done his own personal transformation. Now he's back in the community, educating, motivating, and inspiring those to make better decisions with their own lifestyle. Let me bring on my brother Renard. Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm good. You know what's funny, man? Every time I hear that, it's crazy to myself, and I did the journey. You feel me? But to hear other people say it, like you said, at your heaviest, you wasn't damn near 240. So I'm like,
at my heaviest, I was 250. 250. And I lost 80 pounds, right? Through my journey, I lost 80 pounds, got my health back in order, after I had my health scare and everything. So to only imagine, 80 pounds in my book was amazing. It was a feat. But to hear somebody, you lost what, 4 times?
Literally.
4 times that amount.
I lost Ray Lewis. Like legit, I lost Ray Lewis. I mean, that's the best example I can give. Was I lost an NFL linebacker. Like,
man, that brother was on your shoulders like this that whole time.
And the crazy part, I just said it on my to someone else. I was like, when I get up to 220, I feel heavy. I said that's crazy. At 420 pounds, of course I felt heavy. But I'm like, now my body has adjusted so much to the weight loss. At 220, I'm like, oh, my knees hurt, my back hurt.
So at your heaviest, you were 420 pounds.
400. I'm gonna be honest and say I don't know exactly. They stopped weighing. Well, they kept weighing me. I just didn't want to know the number. They put me on this animal scale. I don't know if y'all have any obese people in y'all life, but after a certain number, they don't do normal human scales no more. They put you on an animal scale. So once I saw 425, bruh, I was just like, I'm good. You know what I mean?
How old were you when you got up to 425? And like, how long? Like, were you always
bigger? Always a big dude. The typical, I guess you could say, fat kid, you know what I'm saying? Where I went through the stages of husky, from husky to chubby, from chubby to, it's kind of cute fat. And before you know it, you like, I'm 300 something pounds. This ain't cute no more.
Yeah, man.
What really took a turn was at 17, I dislocated my knee, tore my ACL, my MCL, trying to go play football my senior year. I was probably no more than like 300, good lineman size. But after that dislocation, being on bed rest for 5 months, I ain't gonna lie, I got addicted to pills for a good year and a half. It was just a crazy depression. So I would say around 18 and 19 is when I got to that 425 mark. So easily within a year, I probably gained like 130 pounds just off depression. I'm gonna just say it was straight depression.
And you were in your early 20s at that time.
Early 20s. 19 is when I really started my journey at 19, yeah.
Wow. And man, so many people these days, like, I remember growing up, and when I was growing up, I was the fat kid. I'll be honest. Like, I was the fat kid. I was the one that, they used to call me the Pillsbury Doughboy. When I was a little kid, they used to poke me, make fun of me, and mess with me. When I was like 4 or 5 years old, I was like one of those little Maury kids. Like, they come up on stage and they like 100 plus pounds at 4 or 5 years old. I was that kid. You know what I'm saying? But when it wasn't that many kids overweight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was now, really like something like, damn, he's been.
It's the
you see more little kids that are, fall into that obese category, which they say 70% of the population, 70% of the population in the United States falls into that obese category right now, right? And that's one of the things that, when we do our events and everything, we want to talk about, we want to address those things, right? Because a lot of times we think that, genetics plays a huge part in why we're overweight. People say, I'm big boned. I'm just, it runs in my family. We all big. No, a lot of y'all just eat the same food.
Just eat the same food.
So y'all have the same diet. That's why y'all all overweight,
I'm gonna say, even though it's not genetics, your environment definitely plays a huge role huge part. Like, I came from a family where I was a little bit over 5 pounds as a baby. So of course, anytime I would cry, their answer was feed him. He hungry. We got to learn, Black people, that ain't why the baby is crying. You feel me? We got to get better at that. But the crazy thing is, I always tell people, your environment definitely will hinder your growth, but it's up to you to make that decision. I couldn't control what was put in my plate, probably at an early age, but I'm gonna be honest and say I'll never forget middle school. I don't know if you had this experience, Kat, but middle school, 10 years old, we all at Great America. I'll never forget. I couldn't do the clink clink. It was not going. I tried to get it, as much as you can get it. And now you got to play the cool guy. Oh, I don't want to ride that. I wanted to cry so bad. Yeah, I wanted to cry. Like, I can't even. Yeah, I wanted to cry so bad, but all the fellas is there, so I can't cry. Now I just got to go walk around and get stuffed animals and stuff. But I'm gonna be honest and say, middle school is when I could have took a conscious decision. Like, I didn't like it. But I don't know. Everybody, like you said, even though it's not genetics, it's a mindset. I saw everybody fat around me, so I just assumed that's what we're supposed to be. You know what I mean? It's just a fat family, like you said. It's genetics, but it ain't.
And what's so interesting, man, like, when I was probably like from a baby all the way until I was like 5 or 6, I was pretty big, right? Around like 6 or 7, I got my first bike. Right, I learned how to ride a bike, and it was the funnest thing in the world because being the fat kid, you always last. If you're playing tag and you're trying to chase people, you're the slowest kid out there, right? So when I got on the bike, it kind of made it like an even playing field on that bike. I'm going through the neighborhood, dashing towards the other kids. So doing that for a while, I started shedding a lot of weight, and I got down to average size, like what I was supposed to be at. My age and height and whatever the case may be. But then as I got a little bit older, start playing a little bit more video games, being a little bit more stationary from like, I would say 10 to like middle school, gained all this weight again. Right. And at that point, it was like going into middle school, I was coming into, I always loved playing football. I always loved playing sports. Right. But I remember going out for Pop Warner football, right? And at that time,
because I was too big.
So this is my story, right? So I wasn't too big. I had to play with kids like 2-3 years older
Gotcha.
than me,
Yeah, yeah,
though,
yeah.
right? I was like 10, 11. I had to play with like the 14 or 15, like the
Mm-hmm.
biggest kids out there. And I'm looking like, man, I don't like just being intimidated being around older kids at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
these are like
Mm-hmm.
damn near high school kids, and I'm in like the 5th or 6th grade at
Mm-hmm.
that time. And in middle school, I decided to like really start making a conscious effort to move my body, right? Riding my
Mm-hmm.
bike all the time again, just running around, playing outside more, just being more active. And the weight, once again, through middle school, like my 7th grade, I was a little bit bigger, but by 8th grade, slimmed down. Through high school, I kept the weight off all the way until I got into my adulthood, until I was an adult, until I got into corporate America, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the weight started to come back again, right? Because now I'm working, a 9 to 5 job where sometimes I'm working
Mm-hmm.
10, 12-hour days. And like you just said a little bit earlier, you fall into a state of depression and don't realize you're in
Mm-hmm.
a state of depression,
You don't even
right?
know you there. It's so many people depressed, bro, that don't even like. They won't even admit that term. I'm depressed.
Because
Like
it's
it's
the
okay.
environment.
It's
Because a lot
okay,
of people
but.
going through the same stressful
Mm-hmm.
environments, and what they're doing is once you get into that circle, you start doing certain things as a community, right? You start
Mm-hmm.
eating more, you start drinking, you might be messing with pharmaceuticals or different other
Mm-hmm.
drugs to kind of keep your mind just off whatever is putting you in those stressful environments or whatever the case may be. And that's something that we really don't talk about in our community. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Our mindset, our environment,
The
and
numbing.
how that
We
really
numb a
plays
lot,
an
man.
effect.
We numb a lot as a community. Like I ain't gonna say just as our community as a whole, people numb, but I can
Yeah.
only speak on our community. I'm like, nah, we numb a lot. And I always tell people how they say the war on drugs. It should have been the war on food. I truly
Yeah.
believe that. Like the gateway drug is not weed. No, 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 no. The
Yeah.
gateway drug is food. Like we need to stop playing. I'm like,
More
it's
so,
all food.
let's food. Let's identify like sugar. Like
Yeah,
sugar is
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
one of the most addicting things on this planet, and it's the most
Mm-hmm.
accessible thing. You know how
Mm-hmm.
many people like, man, I be having those sugar cravings, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
that processed sugar is the closest thing you can get to cocaine. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to like addiction, like how people really get addicted to things, it's one of those things that's like anytime you want a sugar craving, you go to your local corner store. You can go to the
Mm-hmm.
supermarket. There's there's a
And that's why I
plethora
say food
of
is the
foods with
worst
sugar in them.
drug because it's not a drug and it's everywhere you can get it. Unlike every other drug, you gotta work hard to go get that shit. You ain't gotta
Yeah,
work hard to get food. Well, real food, the processed,
yeah, yeah.
the junk
Your
food.
fast
I
food.
should be
Yeah,
very clear. Yeah, the fast food, the junk food, that stuff is the drug. Let's be clear. The other food, the healing mechanisms, the fruits, the veggies, of course, but our community, we ain't all about that. So yeah, I definitely agree that it's a crazy thing, especially once you get into corporate America. I know we talked about this last time, especially coming from the hood. When you make a little bit of money, you
come
know what
on.
I mean? Things
Yeah,
change.
you
And
going
for
out to lunch all
me,
the time. You could you could
I
splurge.
grew
I
up.
remember. I
I
was gonna
grew
say
up
I
with fast
remember
money,
going
and it's like,
going
man,
out and having drinks on my lunch break when I was working at
mm-hmm.
corporate America. Let's just have a shot real quick. Let's go have
Yep,
a couple
yep.
beers on our lunch break. You know what I'm saying? And how
And I
that
just that
develops into
how
other
the
habits.
rumor the ramen noodles turned into all right. Now we're doing Roof Chris and this and that all the time. You know what I mean? Like it went from okay, we still got the horrible food with noodles, but now you switching it to just straight. I'm like the typical meal at a steak dinner would be a big ass steak, some potatoes, and like some other carb, like maybe some corn or some bread. I'm like that is the
Yeah.
worst thing you could put in your body. You got meat, carb, and probably some more carbs. I'm like, where the fiber at, yo? Where the
How we
fiber?
gonna digest this? So while we got the audience attention and we got the viewers on here right now, I want you to share like what was like rock bottom for you. Like when did that moment of like I gotta make a change? I'm 420 pounds right now.
Mm.
You know, 420 pounds, that takes a lot of lifespan
Mm-hmm.
off your life. You know,
Mm-hmm.
all the wear and tear that your organs and different things have to go through and experience with that. It's like, when was it a conscious decision? Like, man, I can't like live like this for the rest of my life. I'm gonna have to, start making
Make a
some
change.
kind of
Yeah,
change.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
can
guess
you
you could say
share that story with
my
everybody?
light bulb moment would be 19. Like I said, 425. That's all I can remember. If I got to be honest, I probably got up to 430, 440 easily. Light bulb. I had sleep apnea pretty bad, where I stopped breathing close to maybe 20 times within a minute. There's only 60 seconds in a minute, so you shouldn't be stopping, breathing that many times. They got me on all these pills. I have pre-diabetic medicine, all this other fat loss medicine. Like I was literally taking pills as if I was a 60-year-old person. And it was, I never forget. I was in line to get the weight surgery. I was just like, whatever. They kept offering it to me. I'm like, the gastric bypass, whatever. And I was going to do it. But I wasn't actually putting the effort in to lose the 50 pounds to get the surgery. And my doctor, he would tell me every time I seen him, every 2 to 3 weeks, he would look me dead in my face and say, "You're going to die." And up until that point, no one has like said something that harsh. And that's not even harsh. It was just the reality, but it came off as harsh. Your family, they will literally call you fat, but put another second plate in front of you. I won't ever forget my grandmother, God rest her soul. She used to be like, "Boy, you gonna get so fat, you're gonna fit in the coffin." That hurts. Okay. 2 minutes later, she'll go ahead and be like, "You want some more food?" No, I'm fat because of you. I don't want no damn food. Um, so it was just a moment of hearing that from someone that didn't know me. It hurt that he didn't care. He didn't care I was gonna die. Either way, he was getting his check, but he was just being honest that I was gonna die. And I can't even say like what the light bulb was, but I always remember those conversations, and it stuck with me. And I'll never forget, I was walking up just one flight of stairs, just one, out of breath. As soon as I get to the top, I'm talking all that. I would fall asleep, just out of nowhere. I guess I was just being overweight. I don't know what it was, but I actually, at 17, I'll never forget, I got into a bad car accident where I totaled 4 cars because I fell asleep at the wheel. So it's a lot of events, leading up to that one big light bulb moment. It's not just that one, but I just got tired of it. I will always attribute Biggest Loser, even though at the time it was kind of a scam and they doing better now. But at the time, Biggest Loser was a huge, I guess, motivator because I saw someone do it, even though 90% of those people was gaining the weight back. We ain't gonna go there. Um, Seeing it was the light bulb for me. So hearing I was gonna die, and then being able to see, of course, someone do it, was that, all right, I can do it. So that's when I took it serious, when I saw someone else kind of do it.
So once you saw somebody else do it, and you finally were like, damn, I need to make a change in my own personal life. Like, where did you start? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you had to lose a good amount of weight, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, how do you stay motivated day in and day out going through that process, especially when it's super challenging being
Mm-hmm.
400 plus pounds, doing anything, going for a
Mm-hmm.
walk, just moving, doing, like you said, going up a flight of stairs felt like you just ran a marathon. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what were the steps? What kept you motivated day in and day out through the process to keep on going? And what steps did you take, like physically? Was it like, I'll go on a 5-minute walk today, or I'll just move for like 5 to 10 minutes? Like, what did that look like?
Um, Pretty much the first step for me was saying F the surgery. I think that was my foot in the ground moment, that it's me versus me. And I could have took the easy. I'm not saying the surgery is the easy way out, but it's a lot easier. You want me to be honest. This is all natural, you feel me? But that was the first step. I went ahead and started kicking all the pills. I don't know, something, maybe it was that pill addiction that I was like, I just don't want pills no more. So I started kicking all the pills. Yeah, it was hurting, and it was harder without all the pills, but it was something about me saying I was going to do it natural, that I held, I almost like I held myself to a higher standard of, this is what you're requiring, this is what you must do. At the time, of course, I didn't have that mindset, but I'm looking back at now, I was always an athlete, like you said. I truly believe God, as crazy as this goes sound, put me through this to show people what's possible. Because just like you, I was the fat athletic kid. I don't even know how I stayed fat. Like I played soccer, I played basketball, I did flag football because I couldn't do real football anymore. In high school, like I was so I really don't know how the weight came, honestly. I think it was just that competitor in me. Once I saw Biggest Loser do it, it was something about it. I was like, man, I could do that. So it really just started out like everybody do, cardio in the gym, on them ellipticals, looking crazy with your arms going crazy. And that's okay. If you got to start on the elliptical, you get your ass on the elliptical. I ain't mad at that. But I was in the gym hard. And I'm going to be honest and say, I'll go into this. It was a 4-year journey. And I'm going to be very honest to say I wasn't mentally in it all the way. The first 100 pounds fell off like this. So anybody that got to lose a lot of weight, I don't want you to get too excited by the first 50 to 100 pounds. That's not the hard part. That wasn't the hard part at all. I'm going to tell you why it wasn't the hard part. Because after I lost 120 pounds, I gained 90 back. I gained 90 pounds of the 120 back. So that was just part. So
what did that do to your spirit, though? You know what I'm saying? Like seeing it come off and then seeing it come right back. Like, did it put you in like a depressed state, or was it like remotivating? Like, nah, I really gotta be on the top of my game to make sure I keep this all off.
It's one of them, you know how you say grieving, the 5 stages of grieving or whatever they say. So it's kind of that. I had to grieve the mistake I made. Well, it was 2 grievings. First, I had to grieve the mistake on, okay, I let myself get to 425. Then the second one, I let myself get back. But it was more of a big motivator. And I think for most people in dealing with my clients, I see it all the time. It's a fork in the road. We all have it. You're going to fail. Actually, success is breed by failure. If you want to be honest, it's just what do you do when you fail? That's what separates the winner and loser. Is most people don't keep trying, and it was something in me that said, "Don't give up." I set a goal. I was going to lose. My initial goal was 200 pounds. I don't know what about that number I liked about it, but I was like, if I can lose 200 pounds, I think that'd be cool. And manifestations, Cat, he'll tell you about the manifestation you speaking it. But that was the first step.
Synchronicity, the alignment. You start seeing signs from the universe.
That was the first step, and I'm gonna really say it. Before I believed it was possible, I had to like motivate myself to think. You know what I mean? I kept speaking. I'm gonna lose 20 pounds. I'm gonna lose 20 pounds. I'm gonna lose 20. No matter what people were saying around me, I was like, I'm gonna show you. So it really was. I mean, it's sad to say, but sometimes your family can be your best motivators because they haters. If that makes sense. Like,
I'm gonna share this with you real quick, right? In my journey, when I was losing my weight, right, my best friend to this day, we still kicking and everything. Mm-hmm. When I told him what my goal was, I was like, I want to get back down to, my school weight where I felt really good, like my 185, right? That was my number, 185. And I was 250 at the time. And he looked me dead in my eyes. My best friend, instead of like, yeah, hell yeah, you got it, cuz you're gonna get down to 180. He was like, hell no. Literally looked me dead in my eye. Hell no. Nah. He was like, you're a grown ass man. You can't get down to 185. I said, why you think that? He was like, cuz. He was like, you're adult now. I said, I'm still the same height. I'm the same build.
That's just crazy. I'm mindset, that's a crazy mindset to have. But
you know what I'm saying? I'm older.
What the fuck?
But yeah, I'm older. But why can't my body type get back down to 185? And he was like, but I bet you $100 you can't do it. And I looked at him like, he really think I can't do it for whatever particular reason, right?
I think our best motivator, even though nobody was really knocking me, at the same time it wasn't encouraging me. Meaning, like, I really preached this: you're gonna have to remove some people, places, and things. And I said that in that order specifically because the first thing is people. Meaning,
come on,
okay, let's just say somebody doesn't want to go to the gym with you, cool, but they don't also have to tempt you with maybe like some fried chicken when you get back from the gym. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be in the gym with me, but they don't sabotage me either. So I don't know. It was a thing of, it's hard to explain. I ain't gonna say, oh, I'm gonna prove you wrong. It's more so I'm gonna prove me right, if that makes sense. Like me doing this, I had to learn in that second go round. it was really me versus me. I had got too confident. I was getting all the likes on Instagram.
Yeah, the before and after picture.
Got a new lady in my life. I'm 21. We in Vegas. I'm feeling good. It was something about that Vegas trip. It took me all the way back because I got too comfortable. So don't y'all get too comfortable. But you really gotta push yourself. And instead of being, I'll take it back. I did get depressed, but instead of staying in that depressed state, I was maybe there for like a couple of days, and that turned into this crazy fire and desire where my whole life changed. So I don't do diets no more. Let's play a quick little game with words. Die it. What do you hear first? Die. Why would you want to do anything that you're dying? Let's try a lifestyle change. Lifestyle. You're living for that. You know what I mean? So words are powerful, but they have a lot of meaning. So no more diets. I was done with diets. I made a conscious decision. This is my life. This is what I do. And like I said, the first go round, I didn't really make too many changes. I just maybe, switched up eating a little bit, went to the gym. The second go round, when I gained a 90 back, I was in the gym damn near 2 to 3 hours every day. I still, smoke marijuana, but I had to, for my marijuana smoker, sometimes you got to pull back on that kind of stuff. I made a conscious decision. If I didn't work out that day and eat right, I couldn't smoke. So guess what I was doing, y'all? 4 or 5 a.m., I was getting my ass up. I was like, we gonna knock this workout out. That's what we gonna do. And we go eat right. So you got to reward yourself, whatever you need to reward yourself with. But it really is a law of sacrifice. I gave up going to the club. Like my 20s was not something sexy or appealing to your average 21 to 24-year-old. But if you're chasing a big goal, sometimes you go be by yourself on that Friday night in the gym or in the studio or writing, whatever it is, it's you versus you. And I really took it to heart. My fam can't save me. My girl can't save me. In fact, in my journey, I probably have been in 2 different relationships while losing the weight. And they both stayed kind of, in their own shape. I'm not going to say big, fluffy. We'll just say they, still fluffy. So you can't do it for nobody. If you're not doing it for yourself, stop. Because you're literally going to fall off because that attention from other people, it ain't always going to be there. You feel me? So my biggest motivator was the fact I did it already. I lost 120. I'm like, if you lost 120, another 80 is nothing. So it was just that mindset switch of, I could have went down the depression route and gave up and went back to my 400-pound self. But to me, God give us these outs. And I'm sure Kat had an out where you had a defining moment where you had to pick between this lifestyle or that lifestyle. And if you didn't pick that, lifestyle, we wouldn't be here. So I believe everyone has that defining moment.
Yeah, man. In my own personal journey, it was drinking alcohol, right? Using that as my suppressant when I was going through things, right? So anytime if I was stressed at work, stressed with the family, or whatever the case may be, it's easy to go to the store and get you a bottle, right? And make any excuse why you having a drink or two, right? And I really noticed that just in my own personal journey, I just never make good decisions, right? When I drink. I'd be like, I'm a very functional alcoholic.
Okay.
Meaning that when I drink, 90% of the time you wouldn't even know that I had a drink unless you smelled it on me or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but when I get in those modes, it'd be fast food all day, right? We going to Jack in the Box, we going to some kind of fast food joint, picking up something greasy. It'd be late at night, and I'd be eating at least like 2,000-3,000 calories at midnight or 2 in the morning, right? And I was like, man, I know myself. You start to, when you start making these lifestyle changes, you like, I'm starting to get to know myself. And as I get to know myself, I know what this leads to, right? And I don't want to go back in that direction. So you start letting things go. You start having more self-love. You start looking within yourself. And it's like, why do I want to really lose this weight? Me personally, I wanted to live to see my kids become adults, right? Because when I had my health scare, all 4 of my sons were, my oldest, I think at the time was 8. I had 8 to like a 1-year-old, right?
Yeah, and to live for.
Yeah, I was like, man, and the only thing that's stopping me right now is me. Like if I die from a heart attack or something like that, or have a stroke because I'm indulging in alcohol and all this other stuff, at the end of the day, I did it to myself, and I wasn't able to see
Mm-hmm.
my kids grow up.
Would you
Right?
say, well, I'm sure you can say it now, but if you didn't make that conscious decision, just think how different your sons would be based off the
Come on.
influence and what they saw their dad doing. But you
Yeah.
flipped it, became, I'm sure they're superhero now in their life. I'm sure, you know what I mean?
It's a funny thing about that though, because as I would always keep my kids active, right? Whether if they were
Mm-hmm.
running track, playing soccer, whatever, playing youth football, Pop Warner, I would always keep them in some kind of activity. But I would always find myself talking in past tense, right? Like, oh, when
I
I was in
used to
high
do
school,
that.
when
I
I was
got you.
in middle
Yeah,
school,
yeah,
I was man, I was this, I could do that, woo de woo. And then kids look at you and they're like, oh, okay, because they
yeah.
only saw
Mm-hmm.
the big pops, right? From their perspective, pops has always been big since I was little, right? I've always
Mm-hmm.
been a bigger guy, right? So for me to tell them that, oh, I used to be smaller and this and that and more athletic, I just felt like a hypocrite, right? It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like when you tell your kid to follow their dreams, but in reality,
You
you're
ain't
still
doing
not
nothing.
following yours. You know what I'm saying?
That's the worst. People don't know that's the worst side. That's the worst dream killer. Is someone telling you to follow their dream, but you living your miserable, horrible life. Is like, wait a minute, I'm not understanding the divide. Like,
Come
your
on.
energy is not matching your words. Like, why you didn't go chase yours?
Yeah, what's
So,
stopping you from
parents,
like pops? What's
go
stopping you from being in shape? What's
go
stopping
if you
you from being
man.
successful? You know what I'm
So you
saying?
want your kids to be successful. All jokes aside, I know we say our kids should be, better than us, of course, but you need to be successful too, so they can see that version of
Pave the
success
way.
first. How you know what I'm saying?
Come on, pave the way for the kids. Give them something to look at. Even like yourself, like when your kids because you don't have no kids right now, right?
I got a bonus son from my last
Oh, okay.
relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, once you have more kids and everything, they're not going to know your old self. So when they look back, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
what? You were 420 pounds. She's like, yeah, I was.
Even when I show
I,
my nieces and stuff, I'd be like, this was me. They'd be like, Uncle, that's not you. They'd be like,
yeah,
that's
they
not.
don't even look like you.
That ain't you. I'd be like, no, that's me. I'd be showing them
Yeah,
picture for picture. They'd be like, no, this is you. I'd be like,
yeah,
they be like, no, that ain't you. It's
yeah.
the fucking one is 2 and 5, but they get it. They like, no, that's not you, bro. But that's the
Yeah.
funnest thing to me. I do my 5-year-old niece, she wants to be a gymnastics type girl, whatever. So me and her do yoga together. She loves it. We doing all these different yoga moves. She got me, the one where you do like the bridge and you stand down. We be having so much fun with that. So I would say, like you said, your why, even though it wasn't kids at the time, my why was just living. So the biggest advice I can give you, your why has to be bigger than your actual goal. Meaning my like you losing the 200 pounds almost was a cherry on top to saving my life, if that makes sense. Like the same for you, your why was your kids. It's like this healthy, fit, vegan life is cherry on top, but you're now here for your kids. You know what I mean? So your why is much deeper than that. How can I say it? Vanity. You didn't do it just to look a certain way. Nah. So if your goal is vanity, I'm so sorry to tell you right now, you're gonna fail. I'm so sorry because like vanity doesn't. It
It
don't
comes
do
and
it.
it
You know what I
goes.
mean? It comes and goes. So then
It
we
comes
all
and
get
goes.
older and your body change. So like
Yeah.
you can't get too caught up on yourself.
Yeah,
So
we got BJ that just chimed in. He was like, "Thanks, family, for checking in with us." So shout out BJ out there.
shout out
Shout out
BJ.
all our viewers that are tuned
We
in right now.
appreciate y'all.
Yeah, and right now, y'all, if you have any family members that are suffering from being overweight, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, any of that, make sure you hit that share button right down below.
Mm-hmm.
Share this message because just like Renard said earlier, sometimes it takes seeing somebody,
That's it.
make that change, hear that testimony to wake
Mm-hmm.
them up, to motivate them to do something different.
I be
Now,
having those moments at the gym where I see kind of, a big person, especially the men. When I see a dude over 3 something, I'd be like, all right, God, if I'm supposed to go speak to this person, let me know. Every time, boop, go speak.
come on,
Every time it's a, oh
just
my,
give them
the
years
oh
of
my,
wisdom.
man. So it's just, you never know. And even my mom, she got diabetes. But like you said, it was up to me to kind of save my family. I didn't know it at the time, but now I got her kind of transitioning to vegan. And like your why has to be bigger than weight. You ask her, her why is like, I want to get off these damn pills. I'm tired of these fucking diabetes medicines. So I'm like, that's your why. That why is going to get you your goal. You know what I mean? So
a lot of what I get from you, and when you talk, especially on social media, and you have your words of wisdom, and you motivate people each and every day, it's a lot of mindset, right? How did you
mindset.
develop that mindset over time? Was it something that you listened to on a daily basis? Was it books that you were reading? Like, what really helped you develop this mindset that you have to be so powerful?
All of the above. I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible. You can't be successful studying the people around you unless them people are super successful. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? But if not, I had to go study people outside of my family. It had nothing to do with weight. I'm talking, I was studying Les Brown, E.T. the hip hop preacher. Then I started going deeper into that motivational realm. You got Jim Rome, you know what I mean? You got Tony Robbins. And then you go into the more the spiritual realm of just, all the Bible stuff that kind of lets you know you can do anything. And it really was when, like you said, your own self journey. So for me, my journey really goes deep into the spirituality because I break down the Bible so much where I'll throw it out there. People don't really like this one. John 10:34. It literally says you are God's. And all my religious people would be like, oh my God. I'd be like, that's not my fault. You don't know you're a God. That's not my fault. So it was a real lifestyle change where I tell people, you may see the 240-pound weight loss, but this is what changed the most. And you'll never see that, of course, but this is what changed the most. Before any real success came, I changed it here. When I say I let go people, places, and things, the things was the things I was watching, the things I was allowing to be around me. You know what I mean? Like negative people, no disrespect. Some people are just toxic. And they don't mean to be that way. That's just their vibrational where they're at right now. You know what I mean? So for me, it was just really, I would say one video that I still watch to this day. If you guys can look it up, go look it up. It's by E.T. the hip hop preacher. I can, I will, I must. I used to watch that almost like 3-4 times a day. And I took those simple 6 words, I can, I will, I must. I'm gonna tell you how I break it down. I can, it's a thought. Anybody can have a thought, right? You can think $1 million thought right now. Cool, that's cute. I will. You put a little bit of action towards it. You know what I mean? I must, it's a requirement. There's no more if, ands, or buts. It's when I get there. It's not, if, when. I don't care about the time. It's a win. So I'm going to say you're going to have to detox yourself from negativity and remove all that and insert positivity. That's only if you want big change. And like I said, I was studying. Well, now I'm studying. It went from just motivationals, and now I'm studying millionaires, like billionaires, because that's where I'm trying to go. So if you want to reach a certain level,
that's not where you're trying to go, brother. That's where you're going.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Come on.
But if you're trying to go here, you can't study people around here or even listen to people. I haven't posted this yet because I know my family ain't gonna like this, but I said, why would a free bird listen to a caged bird about flying? I really want you to think about that. If people ain't never did anything in their life, aka that caged bird, why someone with a free spirit like you that's trying to grow and fly listen to someone that's never spread their wings to do anything? I don't care if that's your mom, your dad, your grandma, big mama and them, your favorite cousin. If they not speaking what you need to hear, shut that shit down and go get it from somewhere else. And that's the coldest thing I gotta tell people is I had to let go of my family to become the best version of me to come back and help my family. So sometimes you gotta go ahead.
I was going to say, we got a quick question from BJ. He's commenting. He said, how did you encourage your family to join your journey? That's the first part of the question.
Whew, me and Cat was talking about this. You can lead a horse to water, right? But you can't make them drink. And it was only in the last 3 years, BJ, I actually stopped trying to like motivate people. Like I'm gonna be, let's be 100. I lost 240 pounds. What else can I do? I'm gonna just say that. Like, if you're trying to lose 20, 30, 40, 50, 80, whatever, I lost 240 pounds. I'm like a living superhero. And for my family to know me, it sucks that I have to do more. So I actually, the best way to motivate and inspire is me becoming my best. And over time, I stopped forcing things on people, the veganism, working out, all that. And they just start seeing a glow in me. They start seeing how I get certain opportunities, or this comes to me easily, or you know what I mean, X, Y, or Z. So it's just more of I at first, absolutely, I used to cram stuff down people's face. You need to do this, you need to do that. Let's get you in shape. But the best motivator is you. You're your best product. You know what I mean? I don't need to say anything. People see my body now and they go, "Hey, how you do that?" When I be in the gyms now and I take my shirt off because I don't care, people come up to me and be like, "How much weight you lost?" Like they can see I lost weight. I call myself a hybrid. I got the loose skin and shit, but I got the muscles showing. They be like, "Something different about you." So the best motivator, to be honest, is you becoming your best. I don't care what walks of life you want to, motivate people. You get to the highest level you can get there, and then people will see you, and either they go rise to meet you, or they go ask, "Hey, can you help me?" So I would say, yeah, it's no more forcing people, no more motivating, no more inspiring. I just live my life, bruh. If
Come
that
on.
ain't good enough
That's
for
how we can.
people,
That's
I
how
don't
we
know
can
what to
live our best life. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
And like you said, those that are ready to make that transition, you're there to support,
Mm-hmm.
along their journey. A
Mm-hmm.
second part of his BJ's question, he said he's getting a lot of resistance from the family. He said they enjoy vegan food, but they're still attached to the meat from habit, right? So
Mm-hmm.
maybe he's asking, maybe some suggestions of how you helped your family make some of those transitions. I know me personally, what I tell people when people are making that transition from, a standard American diet over to a vegan diet or a plant-based diet, start making things that are familiar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Start transitioning, like if you do like
Mm-hmm.
spaghetti night, or if you do Taco Tuesday night, you know, find out how to take those recipes that you're already familiar seeing and how to
Mm-hmm.
tweak those recipes just a little bit so they're just a little bit healthier, at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day. Don't try to go from, 0 to 100, because then
You gonna
people
fail every time you gonna
people
fail
get
trying to do
shocked. Oh,
that
what the
shit.
hell is
Trust me.
this? What are you putting in front of me type
Yeah.
stuff, right? But if you start showing them little things that they're familiar with,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a little bit healthier, and you're cutting back on the dairy, you're cutting back on the meat slowly but surely, maybe even starting off just every other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just every other day, like, hey, it's a meatless Monday, right? We're going to do a meatless Monday today. And
Mm-hmm.
every week, just add another day, add a new recipe. I know a lot of things that I recommend to my own personal clients is Pinterest, right? If you haven't heard,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, if you haven't heard about Pinterest, it's a free app you can get on your device, and you can pretty much look up all different kinds of stuff on Pinterest. But
Mm-hmm. Not just
what I
pictures, like
try,
whatever you're following, you need to unfollow some people that ain't, what you're doing. Insert a whole bunch of vegan pages, and you'll be
yeah,
inspired, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? But
exactly,
yeah. But like Kat
yeah,
was saying, for me, I ain't gonna say I'm newly vegan, but I'm a fresh, 2 year person battling. My story's a lot different. I actually became plant based vegan because of my brother. He's battling stomach cancer. He's been battling for 3 years now. And when he first got diagnosed, I was already meal prepping. I was fasting, meal prepping. So like I would eat maybe 1, 2 meals a day. And it would be something, it would already be prepped. So my journey was more once he, got cancer, they pretty much eliminated almost all food from him, honestly. So it was just me helping him out. But honestly, it was the best decision I've ever made. You're going to get resistance. I used to work for a weed delivery company called Ease about 3 years when I first started my journey. And funny enough, it's just sometimes like I said, just being your best is all you can do. I wasn't trying to change nobody. I was just trying to do my own thing. And mind you, this was a weed delivery company, a bunch of munchies. So the boss would order food all the time. But now that I'm vegan, he has to order my food. So in me just being different and them having to order vegan food, before you know it, everybody trying my stuff. Before you know it, 3 people went vegan. So it's like Kat was saying, you just gotta do the best you can to switch up the meals. Y'all know Thanksgiving is coming up. What I used to do when I go to people's houses, I didn't eat nothing really, honestly. And they'd be looking at me weird. oh, this Thanksgiving is different. I'm bringing all my shit. I'm bringing my mac and cheese. Okay, I'm bringing my own dressing. Okay, I'm doing my own version of turkey. So you start bringing those things to people, and it's weird. At first, you will get excluded. I will never forget the first Thanksgiving. I went back to the fam's house. They looked at me like I was an alien, and the whole
Come on.
4 hours doing that event. And I actually didn't come back the next Thanksgiving or that Christmas because all the 4 hours I was there, the whole time I had to like defend myself on why I'm not eating certain things. So that ain't gonna lie, that was depressing a little bit, and it was defeating me. But then I don't know. The more you live for self, as crazy as it sounds, is you got to be selfish, and everything else will fall in line. I know people don't understand that because we live in a more narcissistic type selfish world right now, not the real selfish to be selfless type selfish, but just do the best you can. Like Kat was saying, look up recipes. Vegan mac. If you can master somehow, do some vegan mac or some. I do my homemade vegan cheese, and I like to do nachos with people. I like to.
I was gonna say we gotta get you to make a video how to make some
oh man,
some vegan mac for the holidays.
Vegan
you know what I'm
mac,
saying?
like that's
Yeah.
you just gotta learn how. Once you can get the cheese down, you can now take that cheese and do so much with it.
How do you do yours? Do you use the cashews or how do you make your vegan mac?
I'm trying to do non-nut based, but typically is the cashew. So, the potato, carrot, onion, the 1 cup cashews, a little nutritional yeast. I was trying to get it to harden up. So I've been playing around with a whole bunch of things to get it to harden up. I got the liquid for it. Liquid, I'm
like
good,
a mad scientist in the kitchen, huh?
Yeah, you gotta go, man. So the funny thing is people ask me, do you miss things? I'm like, bro, I was 500 pounds. I mean, 400 pounds. Hell no. I've had everything I've had kangaroo. I went to New Orleans. I've had all kind of stuff. Crocodile. All kind of weird stuff. We live in the Bay. Like, I've had all kind of weird stuff. I said, I'm more excited to try this new vegan stuff. I did oyster mushrooms the other day, and I fried them. And my mom's boyfriend came over. I was like, hey, just tell them they normal, oysters and see what happened. He was like, these good. They didn't even know they was mushrooms. So you just I just gotta trick people. You just gotta, I start doing vegan potato salad. All it is just using vegan meal and no egg. Like it's a little things like, but we are so caught up on, man, no animal product. But what you don't realize is most of your favorite foods really don't have meat in it. Most of your favorite food you can actually do without meat, and that's just the honest to God truth. Like you really don't need meat or dairy, to be honest with you, to make the meal great. I know we put cheese on everything nowadays,
everything, man,
everything. So yeah.
So I wanted just to add on to what you were saying a little bit earlier with you said your brother had the cancer, right?
Yeah, he got stomach cancer.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, it's a doctor named Dr. Milton Mills. You might have seen him if those have watched What the Health, right? It was one of those documentaries that went viral, talking about.
And the other one too. What was the other one?
Which one? He's on a lot of different.
He's on what, the bigger one. The one vegan. It actually has vegan in the title. Invisible Vegan.
Invisible Vegan. Yeah.
That's the dope one too. Yeah.
So he has a whole talk about cancer, right? If you guys, if y'all go to YouTube, he has a whole discussion and he breaks it down scientifically from a doctor's standpoint. If you have cancer in your family or if you're suffering from cancer right now, how to actually reverse it through your diet, right? And what foods inflame the cancer, meaning feed the cancer, right? What foods cause the tumors in the body and stuff like that. And sometimes you don't even think about it. Like, you get presented with the chemotherapy and all that kind of stuff, but do they really talk about the foods that you're putting in your body to cause these cancer? Right. And one of the most common cancers, at least for males, is colon cancer.
Right? Prostate, man.
Yeah. Prostate, colon cancer. And a lot of those cancers are developed from having a high meat diet, right? As a male, we're taught to eat a lot of meat. Why? Because it has protein and it'll build muscle and this and that, things that they program us from a marketing standpoint to make money. At the end of the day, it's all about making money, right? But that we have to deal with the diseases that come with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things why I do what I do is making sure that if you're interested in strength training, bodybuilding, all those different kind of things, you don't have to eat all that meat to have
Mm-hmm.
size or be strong. You know what I'm saying? Like this is something that they programmed us to think just because they could make a quick dollar. We got a couple more questions. Let's see. Thank you for the advice. I definitely check out Pinterest, some more vegan recipes. Thanksgiving is popping. All right, that was uh, BJ. Vegan mac and cheese is the truth. Okay. All right. So we're getting towards the end of the show, and I want you, if you had to go talk to that, if you were talking to that 420-pound self right now,
Mm-hmm.
if you were sitting down and he was sitting right next to you and was like, man, I'm ready to make that change. What's some advice you would give him? Looking back at your transition, making that transition of losing 240 pounds, what are some things that you would tell them to look out for, to really focus on? Because I want, our viewers, those that are suffering from being overweight or being obese, to say like, man, that really hit home. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The first thing first, me, mindset is everything. So the one gem I give everybody, in case you never heard it, we gonna take the word impossible. Right? Impossible. In that word is a very powerful statement. I'm possible. So I know it's a small mental switch, but when you really can go there, that's where the success comes from. So a lot of people have never got to their weight loss goals because you simply don't think it's possible. I don't care how much work you put in. That's cute. But at the end of the day, you're going to self sabotage because you don't believe it's possible. The moment I knew it was possible, yeah, I had a few self sabotage moments. We all do. But like Kat said, you start knowing yourself, you start checking that. You check that very fast at the door. So if we're building a home, you're not going to start with the windows and doors, aka the working out and the meals. You're going to start with the foundation. So I want you to get your foundation right with your mind and understand it's a battle in the mind and not the body. I always tell people train the mind, the body must follow. What I mean by that is the moment you make up in your mind you want better, the universe absolutely will start to organize things to help that. But you got to be the source. You got to be the source. I tell people you can't want God to do the impossible, but you haven't done the possible. So I don't care how much weight you want to lose or whatever you want to, if you're going to reverse a disease, whatever, you have to realize this is a lifestyle change. I still deal with this my whole life. So there ain't no, oh, I just lost 240 pounds and now I get to go live scot free. No, that fat guy is still in here. Trust me. Like binge eating is real. I still do it every now and then. Depression eating is real. Every now and then I'll pick up a few Oreos and be like, it's okay, they Z, and I'll work this off tomorrow. But you know what I'm saying? So mindset to know you're going to be on this your entire life. And I want you to do it for you, meaning don't go vegan because me and Kat vegan and you think that's the thing to do. No, I want you to do what's best for you. Like I don't push this on anyone. I always tell them, I want you to pick a lifestyle that you know is going to be best for you, but I also want you to do the actual research behind it too. So the biggest thing in this journey, I'm gonna be honest, is learning the foods. Like Kat said, it's not just about the tumorous food. No, there are certain foods that are actually inflammatory. They blow you up when eating them. So research food. I know no one wants to do that dirty work, but before I gave up meat and dairy, I actually did a lot of research to what it did to my body. You know what I mean? So you got to go into it knowing this is your journey. I don't care who starts the journey with you. I don't care if your mom is right there, your wife, your husband, and they keep saying, babe, we gonna do this. That sounds amazing, but you got to make up in your mind. I have all my clients sign up. It's a weird, not a real contract, but it's a contract that says you versus you. Before we start anything, I want you to know this is you versus you. So really start in the mind. I want you to visualize it. It's So in my coaching practice, we go a little bit deeper where your first month, you may not lose a pound, but you lost so much weight up here, if that makes sense. You got to lose the weight up here first before you lose it in your body. So we got to get through the childhood traumas. We got to get through the PTSD that got you eating that way. It's deeper than what you think it is. You're not fat just because you're fat. You're fat because you have some mental issue up there that's making you fat. Other people turn to liquor. Other people turn to drugs. Some people turn to sex. People turn to food. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm a foodie. I like food too. It's just learning how to use the food to your advantage, if that makes sense. So I'm not gonna sit here and give you all these tips on how to work out. You in 2020, you know what's best for you. You know what I mean? Like I hate when people be like, I don't know how to lose weight. You don't? How about we cut out the fast food? Okay, we can start there. Where I'm gonna give you some basics that you already know, but coming from 240 pounds, it sounds great. We're gonna cut out fast food. Okay. We're going to cut out soda and juice. If you're not juicing at home, like you actually made the juice yourself, it needs to go. Any store-bought juice, me and Kat talked about it, is full of sugar. Sugar is what is addictive. Sugar turns into fat. So you're adding sugar on top of sugar is just compounding the fat. You know what I mean? So fast food, juice, sugar, the soda, those are the three things I kind of removed. Add more water into your diet. So now that you've removed some stuff, you can simply add some stuff. So the best way I tell people, don't worry too much about inserting the positive. Just get rid of the negatives and you'll automatically start doing the good stuff. So if you can replace juice and soda with water and tea, that's a small change that's going to go so far for you in your journey, not just in losing weight, but just your overall health. So it's just a small things. Start small. Walking, just literally start small. I want you to, the best advice I can give you, I want you to see the best version of you like an abstract photo, right? All I want you to focus on first is the framework. Can you just see the framework of where you're trying to go? Once you got that framework of where you're trying to go, every step you take will get you closer to that picture, and then you'll start to see the abstract actually become more clear, if that makes sense. So take it small. This is how Nipsey say it's a marathon, not a sprint. That's true. And I think I gained the weight back because I went sprint mode and I didn't realize it's a marathon. So I don't care how much weight you got to lose. It's a marathon. This is a lifestyle change and you got to do it for you. Find your why. We've talked about it in a lot, but it's very important to pick a why that is deep rooted. I promise you, my first month with people, they'd be like, man, this ain't working. I'm like, if you say so, all right. Come month 3, 4, they didn't drop the weight they wanted to, and they mentally better for it. Heal the fat kid or fat person, or heal the trauma first before you try to get all sexy with your body, because doing that is just a facade. That's gonna cause way more problems. I'm telling y'all, I'm still dealing with my fat person inside, and the more attention I get, I'm like, I don't need to do no healing. So that attention is false. You need to heal yourself. Heal yourself. That's the best advice I can give. It's in the mind. Like in the 240 pounds, I look back on it, I manifested it. I don't know if y'all know what that means, but I thought about it. I visualized it. I spoke about it. And doing those 3 things, my vibration started to know it's possible. And the easiest step, which is the hardest step, is just doing the work. And I promise you, you go wake up one day. I still do it. I'm in the bathroom now. I look in the mirror sometimes and I'm like, this is a dream. And I be waiting on that fat person to wake up and be like, I got you. So living your dream. This wasn't real. You know what I mean? But so you will wake up living your dream, not knowing you're living it. You would just arrive at that moment. But every step counts. Every step counts. Every day counts. Every decision counts. I know it sounds tedious and mundane, but it does. The one bad decision leads to the next. One good decision leads to the next. So it's all about what you're doing with your life. No one workout don't matter, but consistency does matter. So if I can give you a mindset hack, it's a 100-day consistency challenge. I want you to take out one thing from your life that you know is not doing you no justice. I'm not even saying the food. It could be social media. It could be sex. It could be liquor, whatever. Whatever you feel is your worst enemy right now. The worst thing you know that self-sabotages you, take that thing out for 100 days. And fellas, sometimes it needs to be sex. I'm 10 months celibate, but this is the best I've ever felt because that's not a distraction. You feel me? But in those 100 days, not only remove something, I want you to insert something that you know is going to help you. Writing, reading, working out, whatever you want to insert. This is you in your life. I don't care. But it's a mindset hack because if you can do it for 100 days, I know people say the 90-day rule, but whatever, let's push it the extra 10. And you really got the hang of it, you know what I mean? But it's an easy trick. Start today. I don't care about no holidays. I don't care about no birthdays. I don't care about no January 1st. You got to realize sometimes what the world got going on don't got shit to do with you and your goals. I don't give a damn about no Black Friday. I don't care about no Christmas. I don't care. But like I said, I'm making my own food for Thanksgiving so I can regulate my own calories and whatnot. So you really have to understand it's a challenge to become the best version of you, but it's worth it. How the best advice I can give is when you do the butterfly effect, the caterpillar to the butterfly, what people don't know is that caterpillar actually dies in the process of becoming a butterfly. So I'll ask you, are you willing to die for your dreams? And that's how you know you're serious or not. And when you get to the point where you are willing to die for your dreams or whatever you're chasing, you'll get there. You know what I mean? I was willing to I was going to die being fat trying, like 50 Cent say, get rich, die trying, or I was going to literally make it and be a success, which I did. I didn't die. But I felt like I was going to die, but I did it. I did it. So I want you to think of all the stuff that you've been through where it was hard at first, but you got through it. It's no different. Your life literally has built you up to the person you are today by you jumping over hurdles. If you can look back on your life, look at all the hurdles you jumped over. So if you could jump over those hurdles, you can jump over any other hurdle. So change the mind and the body must follow. And you are possible. I want y'all to say that 3 times. I'm possible. I'm possible. I'm possible. The more you start saying it, you're going to start to believe it. You're going to start to believe it. Watch.
Man, come on. You just gave him some gems right there. If y'all heard what Renard said and that hit something, go ahead and hit that like or that love button down there. Show him some love because he's just speaking from the heart, y'all. He's sharing his testimony today and just giving as many jewels as possible for those that need it. I thank you once again for taking time out of your busy schedule, Renard, to share your testimony and share the tricks and tools that you utilize.
Right. I told Kat, this was so universal. Y'all see my name, right? Healthy Hood. I never forget my vegan hood chef partner, Ranisha. I seen her post it. I was like, whoa, time out, flag on the play. I said, you just gonna use my name? That's like I gotta trademark my shit. I don't want no money for it, but anybody that say Heal the Hood, I need to be a part of it. You need to tag me.
And the dope part about it was you was at every single event too. You started it off,
name, brother.
You started it off in the city, and then you was with us in Oakland, and you was with us out there.
I tell
so we appreciate all the love.
Heal thy hoodlum. We go heal thy hoodlum by what? Healing thy hood. So let's do it, man. Let's do it. One mind, one body, one soul at a time, brother.
Come on. So for our viewers that are looking, for a coach, right? Mm-hmm. How can they get in contact with you? How can they follow you on social media for inspiration? All your social media outlets. Can you shoot that to our viewers?
It's the Healthy Hoodlum on every platform you can find. Like literally the Healthy Hoodlum on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I don't know if I updated my LinkedIn yet. I just dropped my podcast where I go in depth about a lot of stuff from God helping me with the journey. Because I always tell people I was very selfish to think I did it by myself. God helped me. So I'm gonna be honest. So the podcast is Mind of the Fox. I actually have like a 40-minute episode where I go deep into the weight loss. And so that one is where I really share all my feelings and stuff. But other than the podcast, everything is The Healthy Hoodlum. But the podcast is Mind of the Fox. So
Mind of the Fox. Okay.
Yes,
That's what's up. When does that podcast come on?
It's on all streaming platforms. I'm on episode number 7. I'm dropping one every single day. I got them in the archive just ready to go. So literally, it's just me talking my crazy talk. You know what I'm saying? Enlighten y'all the best I can. I hope in me talking crazy, it sparks one brain to change.
That's it. That's it. Just living our best life, man. Once again, if you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit the share button. If you know somebody out there that's suffering from obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, heart disease, any of those things that we see in our community, and we call them intergenerational health issues, right? That's what Heal the Hood is all about, is making sure that we go back into our own communities and provide the resources, the education, the motivation, the inspiration that we need to take control of our health once again, right? So, like I said earlier in the show, 70% of the U.S. falls into that obese category, right? How can we make that number smaller, right? By going back in the community and educating and motivating and giving the people the tools that they need, right? So thank you once again.
Last thing, Cal, I just want to tell people, I live by the no excuses clause. If I can lose 240 pounds naturally, I want you to check every excuse you have about your little weight. I ain't gonna say your goal is weight. I ain't gonna say it's little, but compared to mine, let's be honest, most of y'all goals are little. So if I can lose 240, I'm challenging whoever on this show right now, go out and lose your goal. Go out and do it. I don't want to hear that. No excuses. Champions make adjustments, not excuses, man. That's what I live by, yo.
That's what I was talking about. All right, y'all. So you can also follow our Facebook page at Heal the Hood 2020. You can follow us on Instagram. It's going to be heal_the_hood_tour. Also, if you're looking to help out to support future events and you want to get any of our apparel, our Heal the Hood t-shirts, our hoodies, or anything like that, which contributes to getting these events into the community and sponsoring them, we're not waiting for anybody to cut us a check. We're going out and providing the resources that we have and making these things happen, right? You can actually go to catfitnesswellnesscenter.com. And pick you up a shirt or a hoodie and know that it's going to be going towards one of our events, whether it's education or actually providing the food and the resources to help somebody in the community to make that change. So make sure you check that out. Once again, you know, if you're looking for a coach that has done it, 240 pounds, y'all, go reach out.
I gotta throw it out there. I'm not knocking nobody, but I'm proud of my ish. I did it naturally. You feel me? So
come on, that's beautiful. And then one last comment from Sam said, "Great content. Keep up the good work, brothers." And then we had BJ with last words. He said, "Challenge accepted." Ooh,
let's go, BJ.
Brother BJ said, "Challenge accepted" out there.
Let's go.
That's what's up. So every Tuesday night at 7 p.m., y'all, every Tuesday night, we're going to have another health coach share their journey, give you the tools and tricks that they shared with at our events, and give you a chance to actually ask questions like our viewers have been doing throughout this entire podcast. So make sure you share this with your friends and family that need it. We want to get into as many households as possible to really start making the change that we need in our community. We want to help people heal from the inside out, y'all. All right. Well, thank you once again for tuning in to the Heal the Hood podcast. First episode starting off with our brother Renard dropping as many jewels as possible. And stay tuned for the next one. We'll see you next Tuesday. All right, y'all. Peace.